course, one of the interesting games that, of course, courtesy to West Nile Television that we brought for you some time back in the Regional League. And it's something that you could be asking yourself maybe how the games ended and things that pushed right there. My name is Owen Ezaga, and of course, with me in the studios is Mr. Swaib Kokole. I remember once the time we were with him here, right, some 2 weeks ago, we had one or two things that we spoke on, and this time around today, we're also going to be having a lot of discussions in different ways. Kokole, good afternoon and welcome. Yes. All right. Now, of course, one of the biggest thing is probably I'm seeing you guys in Koboko. A lot of things that keep happening. Talk about the games and the scenarios that are going on there. How the teams can be fully packed with the fans in the pitch, and a lot of things from different sports displays that we shall be talking about. I talk about the Regional League. Of course, West Nile has a lot, and in West Nile region, you have also teams from Koboko that probably are representing in the Regional League, and you also do have the Uganda Premier League that is ongoing, and then of course the Star Times Uganda Premier League, the FUFA Big League also continued with 1 or 2 sides from West Nile, Unduparaka and Yumbe Best side, Calvary, Midigo, all in there. But what about Uganda yesterday traveling away to, that is for the Data Cup that went on that side. But we shall be giving you all that as what exactly happened with the Hippos. And internationally, you did see the Carabao Cup finals that took place right there. Liverpool still becoming the champions of this. Now, of course, interestingly, I would love us to start from the Koboko side before we get to the Regional League right there. 4th division ongoing in Koboko.
Well, I think it's now the 5th league or the 5th game that so far today to take place, and teams in Koboko are so much well equipped and preparing. And as I said, this is the 5th game that so far kicked on. Koboko district at this time, the division 5 games, they are so much prepared, aware that Koboko will be hosting the playoffs this season. And the teams registered so far, we have like 14 teams where they're divided into 2. And in zone 1, we have Yaya, we have Bamure, we have Lima FC, we have Aipe Aipe Pro Line. We also have we have Longera and Mighty Lions. Those are the teams marking in for zone 1. And again, in zone 2, the southern south of Koboko, part of Koboko, we also have these teams. We have Border View FC, we have Nyangelia Super Eagles. This time also, a new one promoted. We have Kimu United, and with Uraba also, that has always been there. Uraba joining them. Then we also have that is none other than Equatorial and Lurijo, all in the zone 2 of the 4th league. And looking at the table, so far the games played in zone 1, we have Yaya, of course, with the 10 points leading the table there. We also have that is followed by Bamure, that is Bamure Red Stars, and then Lima topping it 3rd there. On the other side, of course, that's where you see a lot of a cracker there, because when you look at Nyangelia Super Eagles, of course, they have been so much into the race where they went to the playoffs, and this time they have a lot also to do. Joined in by that is Uraba. That means they are the very ones. But this time, another team also, another threatening team, that is Border View, of course, leading in their group by 10 points there, followed by Nyanglia Super Eagles, of course, of course, the title contenders also this year. And in the 3rd position, we have Flamingo also, coming 3rd there with the 5 points. And I think that's how things are getting tight from the region.
Okay, a very big one. Of course, 4th division still ongoing. But if you look at the standards of the league or the 4th division right now compared to the previous one, how are you rating it?
Well, I think in terms of preparations, as I did say earlier on, the clubs are doing so massive signings. When you look at Nyangile Super Eagles, this time they did sign players, from these Division 3 clubs. Like they did sign a player from Tipsa, that's none other than Ali Jaid. And of course, Mandela, formerly, who has been for Calvary, he's also in the team. And also Mayor, one of the players, he plays 8. He has been for Arua team, Arua Hill team. At this time, he's also in the Nyanglia team. And of course, looking at Borderview this time, signing different couple of players, telling you, it is getting tougher and tough. And also, as we know very well, Koboko this time will be hosting the regionals. That tells you how serious you're supposed to prepare, especially the hosting team. You must have that strong team.
Yeah, a very big game that, of course, you could be seeing from different teams. But all in all, the 4th divisions are going. Other districts or other places are not yet going on with the 4th division. Though Arua City is ongoing in there. Now, this is one moment that you're going to see challenges come at the last moment, where you need players and clubs probably try to push their teams to, let's say, the regional league, the playoffs, and you're going to see that teams delay. One big thing in West Nile is that we fail to keep time. And that is one thing that we have been in there. Yes, if you look at how teams strategize and how teams push for these games, are you seeing future in any of the team to get promoted this time around in the regional league? Well,
I think each and every time we keep on learning, and the other time we talk to management. This time we see things going in an organized way.
Yeah.
To me, I think we are really coping up with what's supposed to be done. I don't see another doubt. You talked of the late kicking off of these leagues. You look at the aspect of the accounts. Of course, these TMS accounts being opening, taking long. The new teams that always need to get the accounts. And for now, as I've been in interaction with the DFA, chairperson, and of course with the CO, they told me this time everything is set and they're good to go. To me, I think in the near future or tomorrow, even in what's going on, really, all is trying to get sorted. Okay, now that's one big thing that we're looking into. But looking at officiation, we've seen challenges with officiations most of the times. I should say maybe Koboko should not having that challenge because they have the biggest number of referees this time around. But we have seen challenges where even unqualified referees, probably you could say, getting into such games to officiate them and putting things here. Is that the same with Koboko? Because I don't believe them. Interesting. When we talk of Koboko, basically we're talking about West Nile. And Koboko being, one of the leading this time in producing referees, let me be honest to that. Look at Yasser Arafat, the Lakis of this world, young referees who are trying to come in. And that tells me this time, the preparation, and really by producing the caliber or the quality of such referees, to me, we're not going to experience the officiation programs. Gone are the days, you can bring in someone to help you as the linesman and at the same time see how you can, maneuver this game. And of recent, of course, we had the recently conducted, the training, of course, the fitness test for the referees, where we had around over 80 referees that were really, who went through the training. So that tells me, Owen, this time we're good to go, and I'm not going to doubt unless otherwise.
Did you, in the meantime, how was the standard of officiation? Very good, fair. Do you give them very, very excellent?
Well, I think I could normally rate it in my, the layman language of referee. Of course, I may not be, but at least the quality you always see. And with the interactions I've been with the chairperson, and really, for the referees committee, that is Atiku Rahman, and also in touch with FEB, really, the initiative that they took, of course, tells you that the preparation at that level where you expect. Having in mind that, some of the boys, looking at the quality, they are promoted to now participate in the big league or in joining other referees in other leagues. That tells you the quality which is on plate.
Okay, and that's a very good one. Credit should be given to the West Nile region, FA, of course, for probably all the time giving the best in making sure that referees get the best, courtesy of course, making sure that they, although you're upcoming, whether you're getting there, you should be having at least something big to push in right there. That's one big thing that I want to talk about. But if you look at the standards of these referees, then you would know that yes, it is one thing, and every time and now I believe referees are going to get the best treatment, because and everything possible. I looked at the lady who, of course, I want to talk about her. She's showed that this is what exactly she needed to do. So I believe in more trust and more of the things that keep coming here and there for the referees, and we are still expecting a lot. But of course, for today in Aru also, you're going to be seeing 4th division games are continuing, and you'll also see the different teams need to participate in the games. I did just hear today that Airfield will be in participation, so that means a couple of the other games are coming through to make sure that this goes on. But when we leave this there and cross over to the FUFA Big League, where of course you did see games being played, one of the interesting was that game of Saturday when Calvary Football Club of Midigo tussled it out with the Karo Karunji of course, yes, Karo Karunji of Ibanda. Now, Ibanda side, Calvary went and lost the game 2-1, and here Calvary also got a 2-1 win over, that is the Ibanda best side, Karo Karunji. Now, this time round, we're expecting a lot, though other results will be coming. Did you expect that from Calvary Football Club, or you saw this maybe as something that the team really did not play the way you expected?
Well, I think of late, really, Calvary has been, struggling. And I remember in one of the friendlies they had with Team Tips, that is in Koboko, ahead of their build-up, ahead of their games. And I really did have some one-on-one interaction with the coach. And looking at the football they displayed, really, I even predicted that, really, they are this time set and they have to correct from what they've been making. All along, they have not been doing well, and this time you only have the big league which is to go on. And with this result, I never expected something else, really, definitely.
Yeah, it's a very big one for Calvary right there. But of course, at the same time, you did see Police and Lugazi holding each other in a 1-1 all draw. And a goal, of course, that came lately for Lugazi to make sure that things went. And Big League really showed the class of the Titans. I should say the clash of the Titans, because it was the class apart. For the two are fighting in for who is two, because number one is Police, number two is Lugazi. So it was a top flight fight that went in there. A very brilliant performance from the Lugazi side this time around. You could see very many expected maybe Police would be the better side in there, but the two sides played equally very good football. What do you say about that game?
One thing, Owen, I know in most cases when we talk of these Ugandan leagues, it's a bit loose, it's a bit easy when it comes to the first round of it. But really, when it comes to the second league, you always realize that things are always very, very tight. But really, the 30th, having 30 points, and of course with 32, it's like I must always make all possibilities to maintain. And of course with Police, this time they're looking forward, into getting more points and maintaining the position. Because once you lose, it's not easy. And the coach coming up, this time very, very clear, saying that they have nothing to lose at the moment. They have to see, they have to struggle to look into that they contain the table, and of course they come what next. To me, really, Police with the performance, very, very formidable this time, they deserve.
Okay, now that's a very big one in right there. Of course, very many teams will still be looking forward to see the data, so it out in the Bet Power FUFA Big League, which is still continuing, and to the start, you would still ask yourself who did what and what are other results. Now, of course, we did see Chetume that also held Chigezi at home. In fact, Chigezi held Chetume at their own home, that is their home, and made it. It was at it was a 1-1 all draw. Yeah. That saw the team, of course, cruise in there. Chetume, remember, they were dropped from, that is the Uganda Premier League, to the FUFA Big League, and that is still not enough. They're not doing well.
Well, in most cases, we may look at the performance, but to me, I think they still that they did not look at or maybe work upon. Starting very well, and at this point, being dropped also to the second level, still no performance. I think they will have to start up. Really, looking at their performance tells you there's still something technically. The team itself, there's no coordination, sometimes at the back. And the middle, of course, the midfield, not all that coordinating, up to even the striking. After that game, I really summarized, technically, the coach has to do a lot.
Black's Power's late goal by, that is Innocent Maduka, of course, made the team go through to a 3-0 thrashing over Team Young Elephants. Young Elephants, I did say they have a lot of things that they need to do. They are still rock bottom, even amidst Chetume Football Club, who said to not going to return into the second round, but still Young Elephant couldn't do much in there. They still sit rock bottom, and that is one big thing in there. Do you see them getting up? And for Blacks Power, that should be a plus, because they had a very, very good display at their own home, making it 3 in front of their fans. They did have a lot of changes in their team. I'm meant to know that Coach John Ongondia has also left Blacks Power, and the team has solely been taken by the man by the name of Obore, who has been the coach over, that is Lango. Yes, he's the head coach of Lango, and he's the guy in charge in right there now, which gives you, of course, a question of why exactly the changes. You would see that this team, ever since it was brought from Bukedia to Lira, the Lira people or the Lango have not taken it as their club. They feel it is a club that has just been brought to them. And one thing that, of course, is affecting their games, because people don't turn up for the game. The turn up is not that massive. I've been there, and you see there are very many challenges that keep coming every day. So, looking at the standards, looking at how exactly these teams have to put structures, was that a good decision from the management? Because to my own knowledge, I think it's because they want people to identify with this club, and that's why they have brought their own Obore to be that, yes, this is the coach, and he's your home soil, let's say from home, and this and that. But something that is not really working out at Lira best side. I'm talking about Blacks Power.
Yeah, you know, in most cases in football, don't look at who is maybe what do I get, or else who is this person. You know, when you begin asking those questions, you'll go off track. You know, by bringing, you know, someone who is home and seeing it that he knows, that way may not work, definitely. Yeah, it may work in a few, maybe in that sort of moment you expect, but the question is, do we have all that it takes? Or maybe do we expect him to deliver? If so, then of course I may not say it's because he's someone from home. And looking at that game, really, superb performance there from Okello, you know, getting that third goal, tells you by having such a player, you're really good to go. Yeah.
Okay, Mbala Heroes played a goalless draw with Ginger North United, and you did see, of course, Team Police playing a goalless draw. Now, of course, I mean, 1-1 draw. Now, you look at Bauma was not in the fixture. Onduparaka Football Club was not on the fixture. There is the game that was supposed to be in the first fixtures. Onduparaka and Bauma were supposed to meet at Green Light, and a game that did not happen. Now Onduparaka will have to play Chiinda Boys on Thursday, and this is one thing. There's something I want us to talk about, is the Zakayo Ball, which has been one talking point. 15 per club, in that is the second tier, and I think 20-25 for that is the Uganda Premier League top tier teams in there. That is around 1.5 if you say for the home for the big league side, which of course the Federation of Uganda Football Association has given them. But if you look at that, I've tried checking and seeing, of course, clubs that have received. Onduparaka has received theirs. I've seen Calvary receive, but again the standard of the balls are not really like what people say. They're good balls. Maybe yeah. The replica that is at 50 is the one maybe someone would be saying.
Yeah, these are good balls according to the producers, and of course FIFA coming in very clear that this time we need to have uniform measurement, or else you see something which is for better. Looking at the standard, of course, as they classified, we have like basically 2 to 3 standards. I think two classes. Yeah. The first one,
which goes at 100,
which was 100, and I don't know exactly the other one is at what price. But really, you know, someone posted, you know, one of the balls, of course, looking at the quality, and people started complaining. And to me, I think when we look at a standard like this, we're basically trying to improve on football, but we've been using the molten and the select balls, which were so much good. Maybe because they are now going out of market.
No, I can say, you see, that the ball that someone brought on the media, I did see people talking about. I tried, that's a ball that they brought as a sample from the, like some good months ago, when FUFA had to have the tests and the rest. Yeah, and that was a sample. But now, when you come to the real game, we yet to see, but To me, I felt this. I've felt the ball. I've seen how exactly it is.
Yeah.
It looks very good. I think people will enjoy playing it because if only we take away the mindset of it's a bad ball, but it's so good, soft, and probably to the standard size. So we're waiting to see how long it can last, because it's mostly going to be played on match days, and see how teams are going to be handling it. But at any time, anywhere, things can get spoiled depending on how you play.
Well, I think, Owen, you know, in most cases, it's very hard to change your mind once you're used to something. I was talking of the select, you know, the Molten, these best balls that we're used to. But really introducing the Zakayo, you know, the first and second class there, to me, I think they know what is good. So people should give time. And these ones here who haven't even used, they are talking. And these ones who have used, I don't know what they're going to say. But to me, I think when we bring changes like this, we're really doing for the betterment, and we need to give time and get used to.
Okay, it's a very big one. Now, of course, an additional person being added into the team of Unduparaka Football Club is the head is in the technical department is Ahmed Borini Olima. How will that build up a team like that?
Well, really, Borini being one of the key guys. By the way, he started from my hometown. Yeah. And that's where he's from, and I've been following him very, very close. This time I expected him to be in a different move, but really making such a move means there's a serious and a kind of, you know, a technical consideration that looking at the performance Arua Hill has been doing, of course, working with Mbambazi, means this time this is someone with the experience. So what do you want to lose? By letting this person go, it's better still to retain. The house may not be organized, but having him in the system is a very good move. Okay, yeah. And of course, adds in that name, and now Samson Sizo Kuti heads, and of course Stephen, and not forgetting Borin and the man by the names of Ramadan, all in the technical team to see that the second round goes in the right way. For that is the club right there in the big league Unduparaka Football Club. Now, when we move away from there, we want to cross over to the Uganda Cup and the Uganda Premier League at the same time. That is right there. KCCA in the Uganda Cup have been drawn against the team of URA, and this is one of the best games you should be expecting right there. What are you seeing from this Uganda Premier League sides? Well, KCCA, URA, you know, this time KCCA is really convincing. Actually, the team is so much convincing. Look at the performance. They are really looking forward that, you know, we must keep moving. We must do all means with regardless of that. And looking at the Uganda Cup, you know, the history, their head-to-head records, and of course KCCA holding that or having the upper hand. And I think this time, looking at the performance, I don't see anything much more than winning for KCCA.
KCCA, and that is Abdallah Mubiru. You have the man by the names of David Oboa. Let's look at the two tacticians. Basing on their quality. Yeah. Abdallah Mubiru has been in this scene for quite a long time as a head coach. He has mastered the class and he's doing well, but of course you see sometimes there's slipperiness in him where he slips, and you don't see KCCA getting that. Yeah. But again, he has proven himself to change at least the bad luck of KCCA in this season, how they started. And they are still doing well. I think they should be at number 7, yeah, though they are still pushing in there. But again, if you look at URA under, that is the coach, David Oboa, you would say this one again is another one. I saw the quality. You saw when they were goal down to Calvary, converted, different games that they have been down, and he comes back and converts, and he felt this is the right time. He gave praises to his players in the substitution that he made against Calvary Football Club. That brought him that morale that this is what we can do. Now, are we seeing it coming out for the team of URA? That's also another thing. But the two tacticians, who will we go for? Yes, he has little experience in the Uganda Premier League, I should say, or in the Ugandan League, but he has been a player. He understands the league.
Yeah. You know, when to start, you know, with Oboa, of course, this is a guy who has been in the Ugandan football for long. You know, he has been a player at the same time. This time also coming to coaching. I've been following him closely, looking at his tactics, you know, his form of football. Tells you that it's more of physique and how we need to pass this ball and, you know, at the end of it win. But really looking at KCCA, really KCCA has the quality. They really have the quality of the players. And, you know, with Mubiru, he's more of let's pass the ball and, you know, to some extent, let us contain, or else achieve. Basically, the idea of setting targets, it means he's more of modern football. That's why, you know, you concede goals, at the end of it all, you expect, you know, win, and you see people, you know, coming up, applauding him. That tells you how smart tactics or how smart this Mobiru is. To me, I think I'll rate him ahead of Obua.
Okay, now that's one big thing that is getting in there, but I want to say that all first and second tier league, of course, representatives are right now in Fufa House. The club CEOs, of course, the chief executive officers for some training that has been organized by the CAF. And of course, instructors that will be right there. So expect a lot of things that will be coming through for the games. Let's look at some of the clubs that will be tussling it out in the round of 16. You have Pajule Lions taking on Young Simba, and then you have URA against KCCA, as Dav FC will be taking on Pakwachi Youngsters, as Bull FC takes on Express, and Busoga United will be welcoming NEC Football Club, and Vipers will be welcoming Iganga Young. And not forgetting Chitara, that will welcome Sports Club Villa, and Bright Stars against Police Football Club. That's one thing that is there. Now, of course, Dav of Masindi will be taking on Pakwachi Youngsters of West Nile right there. This time round, Pakwachi won't be at home. They will have to travel to Masindi. And this is where the genesis of their away movement starts. Now, this is going to be a game. Remember, they ejected the Wachiso Giants at Pakwachi, and they are going to play a regional league side also by the team, by the names of Dav FC right there. Dav has a ladies team also, by the way, in Masindi. They play at Katushabe grounds in Masindi. How will you see this game in terms of the two sides being in regional league?
Of course, Owen, you know, this reminds me of the Tips, that's a team from Koboko way back when they went to Kitara, and of course they were thrust to 2 goals to 2-0 there. But really, looking at the West Nile teams, who all have the potential of doing that. Pakwachi Youngsters, this time coming up, of course, eliminating, you know, the mighty the team.
Wachiso.
Yes, Wachiso Giants, of course, where everyone expected. I checked on one of the prediction. Someone was saying, you know, this could be like 6-0 in form of that. But really, when the results stand, I really believe this time Pakwachi Youngsters can do it. A very good position there in, you know, the Nyagak zone in the Division 3, and this time again facing Downs. I don't doubt, you know, Pakwachi Youngsters this time proceeding to the to the round of 8.
Yeah, they are very good side and well organized, I should say, in the greater sub-region, I should say. That side, they are one of the greatest teams that have strategized and probably tried to assemble, even from the management up to where the players are. You would see that they are organized. I'm even seeing them being table contenders for that's a zone to see that they will be the team that is going to have a playoffs this season. So it's one of the biggest things because of the level of organization. But we're yet to see how exactly that is going to be. But all in all, there's also a team that is called Chitara playing a total football against Sports Club Villa. That's going to be one of the sides that you should be waiting to see how that comes in there. In this, we did see Sports Club Villa with their total playing total display, but again Chitara has that man called Dennis Omedi who gives you hard time in any aspects. Now this is where we're going to see who and where, but the two sides look good and play total great football. What are we expecting?
Well, looking at Kitara, of course, they always have the history behind the Uganda Cup. I've just talked about how they did the win, of course, against Team Tipsa, and really that does not mean. And by the way, it was through that they made their way to this level, and it tells you, you know, how we mastered this road, of course, or how we mastered this house, and how we can also proceed. And to me, Kitara this time, you know, with S Villa, looking at performance, there's no doubt, total win for them.
Okay, let's wait and see whether that total win will come as easy as say goodbye Kokole Swiber and see how exactly the teams will be progressing well right there. But Vipers will also be in action. Now, tomorrow, there are going to be games in the Star Times Uganda Premier League, where, of course, Chitara will be taking on Wachiso Giants, and you have Express taking on UPDF, as Bull on Wednesday welcomes Sports Club Villa right there. But let's start with the Chitara again, Wachiso Giants. They have been on form. Only goal from Dennis Omedi showed the cases here where exactly they needed to lie and bow down to them. Home and away was what Chitara had to display. Now, this time round, they are just, let's say, like 2 points shy, the team of Bull Football Club, and they have everything possible. If they win this game today, I mean tomorrow, they will be on top. That is what they're expecting. So, what are you going to see from this game of Airtel Chitara and Wachiso Giants?
Yeah, looking at Chitara, they are doing so well when it comes to goal poaching, and of course 16 goals so far, and they compared it to the Bulls 13 goals. And again, lying second, this does not mean we don't have an opportunity. That means there's still a better way to go. And to me, looking at Chitara, of course, lying second in the table, this time they're working so hard. And don't forget, Bull this time, they are not that consistent. Much as they've been winning, and of course, the margin of winning or the goal rate tells you that really there's still something that needs to be done. And to me, I definitely have to give this game to Chitara.
10 games played, 5 wins and 3 draws for Bull Football Club, and they have lost twice. Chitara has done it 5 times win and 2 draws and 3 losses. That shows you how the team is, of course, doing, but of course a very tight one. Sports Club Villa, what is happening with them? What's going wrong? Because they are a team that they are number 6, but you saw them playing, and they have only played 8 games. By the way, they have played 8 games. They have 2 wins that they made, and they are still pushing in right there. Now, if you look at all this, what do you see from Sports Club Villa's performance? Because there have been a lot of draws, 6 draws to their game.
Yeah, if a team in most cases is more of drawing, that means you still have that problem of goal drought. And their striker, this time so much not performing well, and the coach to me is not doing enough. You have a lot of guys in the bench that you can easily bring in, and this is a league whereby you joke will always be left around. To me, I think they still have that goal drought moment, which is for them, and it's very unlucky.
All right, would love to continue with more of the games, but of course our time is already showing us that it's getting done. But let's cross over to international stories and see where we can balance some of the stories right there. It was the last gasp probably for Virgil van Dijk to see that he really needed to show Chelsea what, of course, a big star will always do, and that's how crucial they will always be in a game like this. Now, of course, yesterday in the Carabao Cup internationally, our team, of course, Liverpool still went with another big moment, making history yet again. I think they had 9 of this and putting it now to more into their books. Chelsea, couple of chances wasted. Liverpool, couple of chances wasted. But you would maybe say, okay, Liverpool, the kids were so much in the team, but still they had all what it means to make sure that they got in there. What went wrong for the two sides before we get to the extra time and the goals?
Conceding that 1 goal in 118 minutes there tells you really you didn't do a lot. One thing about Chelsea, people should really get to know this clear, is that Chelsea really has the quality. Chelsea really has the quality, but the aspect of composing, assembling these players together, you still have the Madueke, you still have the likes of Mudryk. These people who can always press. Look at when they were brought in. There was total change in this game. And to me, I think really Mauricio Pochettino still has a lot to do. He is so much relying on Jackson, who is really in this goal drought season. You don't expect. Look at Liverpool. They will always bring in Darwin, getting 4 goals. Bringing in Salah, getting 4 goals. And really, in summary, about yesterday's game, I really give the blame to Pochettino. This is the only cup, or this is the only league. Things are not working out. You never know, you may not make it to the second. You would have done it with all the means. At least the second changes that he made, things worked out. But credit to Jurgen Klopp, doing very well in the Premier League, tells you how matured he is, very smart, removing out these, matured players. I must deal with these young ones, with these young lads. That's when you see the Gakpo and others coming in, delivering. But for none other than Van Dijk, of course, his first goal being cancelled, coming again to score, tells you really how potential and how serious the team was towards winning this game yesterday. And to me, really, it was Chelsea's fault, but Liverpool, they really deserve it.
It was really a frantic start as show for that is the two sides right there. They showed really very impressive attacking momentum, but of course couldn't convert chances and make sure that things work. The two sides really pressed, but still it was effortless until, of course, Virgil van Dijk, the captain, did it yet again for that is the team of Liverpool. But looking at all what has happened, would you say the team of, Jurgen Klopp now starts the journey of a quadruple? Because it's still there in the FA, it's still there in the Premier League, and he is still there
it's
in
really
the Europa.
Very, very tricky. You know, you ask an Arsenal fan who have already started celebrating.
Celebrating when you're not even on top?
They already started celebrating. They will tell you their story. But the truth is that it's really very, very early for us to talk about that. And I have a very strong belief in Jurgen Klopp. I really trust his philosophy. He knows more about the English football. You know, ask so much Guardiola, he will tell you who Klopp is. Going for the 3 or the 2 cups at a row, to me, I think it's very, very possible if other clubs are not that. Being on top with so far 60 points, and I think it's really enough for him this time to go with. If I am to talk, that's how I'm supposed to put it.
When you don't tell me you're an Arsenal fan. Don't tell me you're an Arsenal fan. When you look at the draws that came out for Europa,
yeah,
you would see that Liverpool still has an upper hand, I should say,
yeah,
in the Europa, to see that they can still maneuver and win this trophy. Very many chances, possibilities, opportunities are still there if all their players are up.
Well, Owen, one thing, you know, I need to tell you about this Liverpool club is that, you know, when Liverpool played their last game before the finals, there was that injury when they substituted in Darwin. I knew there's still something much better to come. And this tells you that even if I have players that go to injury or to the injury list, I have more who can come. That
something which will not happen with Manchester United. They will beat you flat foot.
How smart, you know, the manager always is towards the team, because you don't need to play all the players. You are, you know, the title contenders, you are in the Champions League, you're in the Premier League, and at the same time, you know, this tells you that you must have a backups. If this one goes off, I must be able to bring. Removing Darwin, bringing in Salah, poaching for all his goals. To me, these 3 for Liverpool, maybe we're trying to see history happening.
Did we see any importance of the man by the names of Nicholas Jackson into the Chelsea team? Because he was one player I didn't like his play in yesterday's game, and Palmer was not at his best because he was tight marked, and of course change is still there. We did see injury also, Cravenberch getting an injury for team Liverpool earlier on, but still Klopp thought of this. Now, should we say the luck or the, what should I say, the misfortunes of Pochettino still moves with him of not winning
in the first 30 or 40 minutes, Chelsea really outplayed Liverpool, much as they have chances, you know, 4 to 6 there tells you Chelsea still has upper hand. And I told you, the introduction of Madueke, the introduction of Mudryk in the game changed it completely. Jackson is this person, give me this ball, and we have this soft passing, which is so much in the Arsenal team. I prefer Jackson to best be in the Arsenal team. But I think really yesterday, Pochettino made a mistake to have played Jackson. In every other game, you see Jackson, don't expect more goals.
I guess you're a pro-Arsenal anyway. I know Arsenal fans can slaughter me for that. But anyway, and that's one of the biggest things that you should be expecting. But I love the way Arsenal is playing currently. The zeal is there. They have the pedigree. They believe in themselves. The boys trust in them. So look at Saka, who is scoring every after the other. Any game he plays that he comes for Arsenal, he has to deliver, he has to make an assist, and he's one of the youngest players who is doing very well for that is the team. Unlike Manchester United, where one person will be off, you're going to be beaten, and that's one big thing that you should be. Arsenal is better off in. The players have believed in themselves. The Havertz that people said was a flop is doing well at Chelsea. At Arsenal, look at Jorginho in the previous game that Arsenal won 4 goals. He was man of the match. So it shows you that the team believes in them. So the young boys are doing very, very well. But all in all, I believe there's still a lot of things to be worked on by Arteta, because this is the chance again. I remember last season was a chance that he left at the dying moment to Man City. Now this time round, you have Man City, you have Liverpool, you have Arsenal. This is a tight competition that is coming in there. So if only they can push and make sure that every game is taken seriously like that, because they have an opportunity of maybe dropping points, like Man City dropping points, Liverpool dropping points, because they still have bigger teams to play. And those are some of the things in there. But again, if you look at the fixtures, the bigger teams for Arsenal are at the end, where of course you needed now wins to come in there. So those are some of the things. But our time is really against us, as a lot of things keep running in there. Yes, teams are looking for where exactly they should. Jurgen Klopp is very happy, believing in his boys, saying this is what we need to push, and that is it. Okay. What is your final say anyway to that is the viewer before we get off? But all in all, we're expecting a lot of things to come in Uganda and in terms of sports this time round.
Yeah, I think this time credit to West Nile TV going up to grassroots. Talking about the 4th division, the 3rd division league. That sounds so interesting. How supporting we are into our football. And to me, I think it's all about when we come together. That's when football will be very inevitable, and we shall realize the talent that's always in us. I love when I'm always with the local sports, and really with how we're moving this time. I think we shall be able to move together and see quite kind of massive development in West Nile.
All right, that's a very big one from my partner today. Kokole Swaiba is the man here, of course, all the way from Koboko, and giving us all. I love the way that that side you've captured, of course, from Yumbi up to Koboko and the rest of the regions. You can always follow us still for the more of the stories right here. We give you updates. In fact, you should also be part of liking or following our channel on that is on our WhatsApp, yes, so that you can get all the updates right here on West Nile Television, and we are also right there in case you fail to catch it from the television, maybe screen, wherever you are. We always deliver to you, because you can get the Facebook link and watch, you can get the YouTube link and watch, and that's going to be so interesting, and being part of West Nile Television Whistle Time desk right here. My name is Owen Ezaga Kokole Swibe. We sign out, and good afternoon.